What is up, guys? These new patch notes are absolutely great. Also, sorry about all the noise or whatever. I'm still, we just moved. I haven't put up the panels yet. We'll work on it. But today we're going to be watching the new patch notes for Apex Season 16 Revelry. And in the background, as you might have noticed, is playtesting. I played it. I was fortunate enough to be invited to try and play the new season a little bit earlier along with some creators, so you get to watch that gameplay while I tell you what is new. Now, obviously, I've already made a video talking about what's coming out and not as detailed specifics, but now we have the nitty-gritty with the patch notes. So we're going to be looking at what is coming. Obviously, we have the remastered Legend classes. That's Assault, Recon, Skirmisher, Controller, and Support. Assault will be able to carry more ammo per stack. They can access something called red supply bins. Skirmisher can reveal care packages. Recon can reveal survey beacons, so that's like where the enemy locations are now, that they changed how that works. And controllers can scan something called a ring console, which shows you the next circle. And finally, support will be able to access blue support bins with like attachments. And support will also be able to craft banners out of the replicator. It will cost 30 materials. Really excited about that. We're also getting team deathmatch with the removal of arenas. We're also getting mixtape. We've already gone through these things, so I'm just going to go like real fast through this because there is some really important information later in this video, so don't worry about that. We will get to it. Obviously, we have the Nemesis new weapon. It hits really hard. You shoot it, start shooting faster and faster, sort of like a Devotion, but it's a burst fire instead of whatever, and actually keeps the charge for a little while on account of it being burst fire, so you can get it up to 100, reload, and then start shooting again, and you'll still have that charge. At least in playtesting, we'll see if it still stays there. We're getting the anniversary collection event, and that's the there'll be like a cool air show at the start of every game with some cool colors. There's a big update to the firing range where you can now change, I've mentioned this before, but when you shoot a dummy, it will show like dynamic stats. It will show you accuracy, how many shots you hit, whatever, fun stuff like that. And you can also turn on so the dummies, they start strafing and dodging. You can make it random or not as random, like in a more of a pattern. You can decide if they crouch or not, and you can change the speed of which they move. Not only that, we can also change the speed of the targets that are the moving targets in the firing range. Super fun stuff, super excited. Moving on, we also have orientation matches, so new players will play basically in a lobby. There will be 16 teams there will be 20 teams like usual, but 16 of these teams are full bot teams, and you will get put into these matches when you start playing. If you place enough in top 5 or win enough games, they will graduate you out of these matches. You won't be able to get into them anymore. That's understood it. But let's take a look at the actual patch notes. What's actually new? What's the juice, right? So as we might know, the legendary shotgun bolt is coming. It's a new shotgun bolt rarity added to floor, loot, and crafters. It automatically reloads rounds when sliding, and it activates when equipped or stowed, so it's basically like the kinetic feeder. The care package rotation changes, so the Hemlock Burst AR enters the care package and Rampage returns to the floor. The crafting rotation, Longbow and Vault enters the crafter. Scouting car now back on floor. They changed the gold weapon rotation. Anvil receiver hop-up can no longer be picked up. Okay, they did not mention that anywhere. That's actually interesting. And hammer points are back. Okay, so hammer points are back to the Mozambique P 2020, and it was changed. It was changed to legendary. Okay. Car SMG base ammo capacity reduced to 19 from 20. R99 increased damage. So they actually buffed R99. That's actually huge. I always say it's bad, but people never believe me. Assault rifles significantly reduced hipfire accuracy. So the Hemlock entered the care package, but it also came with a massive buff. It now does 23 damage per shot. Headshot multiplier was increased to 1.8. It has better recoil. It integrated the booster loader hop-up. And the booster loader was buffed. It has faster reloads at low ammo that overload the magazine with 9 extra rounds. The massive spread pattern has been adjusted so it's tighter. It now takes tactical stocks, and it now has increased projectile size at close range. Peacekeeper has also received a tactical stock and has increased projectile size at close range. EVA 8 already has the stock, also has the increased projectile size at close range. It basically just make it more consistent, it's much easier to hit your shots with it. Also seeing some changes with the Rampage. It's reverted to the non-care package weapon. The damage has been reduced to 26. It no longer automatically energizes when you pick it up off the ground, and the energy decay is slower when not firing, but it will still decay. So let's move on to the Legends. What's new for the Legends? So obviously there's a very big nerf to Seer, but we haven't really known exactly like how it works specifically. Thankfully, we have the patch notes, so we can actually learn about that. So, Seer's passive now plays audio that's very audible, a lot more audible to enemy players, as in if I get scanned by Seer, I'll hear a little noise where he's scanning from. The activation is now delayed to match raised animation of weapon or unarmed, so it's a little bit slower. It used to be instantaneous, you just spam it, right click, or zoom in, zoom out. Now you can't do that anymore. Lock-on indication will now only show on heartbeat cadence of target, meaning this is a very big one. It's phrased a bit differently. Basically, you do a little wiggly hands, you aim with your thing, you turn the passive up, and you aim at a dude behind cover. It will not instantly tell you the person is there. It will only light up if you aim at a person when their heartbeat plays. I don't know the exact rhythm to it, but depending on the enemy's health, they have a heartbeat that can be there's both an animation and Seer can actually hear it when aiming for his passive. So when this heartbeat plays, it will light up, and that's the only time it will light up. It's not a constant wall icon anymore. It's a lot slower to use. They did not mention this. Seer is out, man. There's no way. His tactical no longer shows full body scan on scanned targets. Wow. Okay, they gutted him. They gutted Seer. That's crazy. His ultimate exhibit now no longer reveals an initiation. Duration has been reduced to 25 and cooldown increased from 120 to 180, just to make it not be on the map for as long. And Bloodhound actually saw a bit of a rework because they do want to make it less of a scan legend and more of a tracker legend. They want to do it with a lot of things this season. But basically, there's going to be these white ravens that occasionally spawn near Bloodhound when no enemies are around. These white ravens can be interacted with or scanned to trigger them to fly towards the nearest enemy player. This white raven leaves a misty trail behind for Bloodhound to follow and will share this direction with their team on the map. Using a white raven will recover 25% ultimate or tactical charge. Oh, that's cool. Scanning a white raven will fully refund the tactical charge. Ah, okay. So if you get two things. I guess it doesn't matter if you scan a raven because there's enemies around enemies, right? The tactical eye of Alphaver, the full body time scan has been lowered from 3 seconds to 1. Holy, yeah, they are not screwing around. They do not want the scan meta. Wow. Okay. Diamond target on scan enemy is unchanged. Okay. The ultimate no longer recharges or speeds up the cooldown rate of Bloodhound's tactical. It will launch a white raven that flies towards the nearest enemy. Killing an enemy while in the beast of the hunt will also trigger a white raven. Oh, okay. That's cool. So you can just keep chasing them that way. They're really leaning into the tracker. Mirage and his ally now remain cloaked after revive for 3 seconds. It was 2 in the dev stream, but I guess they changed it. Weapons remain stowed while cloaked. Drawing your weapon will remove the cloaking effect early. Okay. Bamboozles now only triggered by bullet fire and melee. Enemies who are bamboozled now receive notification on their screen. Bamboozle icon marker now tracks the bamboozle player's movement. Bamboozle icon marker duration increased from 2.5 to 3.5. So you can actually, as I understand this, it's actually a bit of a scam in a way. Like they shoot it and it shows the icon and then the icon will follow the player. Whereas before it would only show where the player dealt damage from and that was it. That's interesting. I like that. Moving on, Pathfinder. Okay, Pathfinder is going to be a big one. They're going to be changing how his passive works. It no longer benefits from scanning server beacons. Instead, Pathfinder will get the ultimate charge and 10-second ultimate cooldown reduction by revealing care packages with Skirmisher's ability, meaning he has to look at a care package and scan it, and he will get it. That is interesting. I don't know what to think about it. I do feel like maybe he needed a different passive, but that's just me. Zipline max range increased by 60%. Max speed increased by 66%. There's acceleration and exit speed adjustments. Targeting improvements, yeah, we've seen that there's new visual and audio cues, and you can no longer place the end station on out-of-bounds zones. That's actually a huge change, so it's faster, it's longer, but it doesn't go out of bounds as easily. Wraith is also seeing some pretty crazy changes. The max portal distance has been doubled to 152 meters. The portal duration has been reduced from 60 to 45. And also, Wraith now increases speed over time when creating longer portals, so by the end of it, you go zooming. As you know, Horizon has also gotten an increased weapon spreading gravity lift. She's no longer as accurate when taking a gravity lift, and the vertical speed of the gravity lift has increased by 10%, but you notice it feels super fast. Lifeline's passive combat revive no longer has a slow penalty on Lifeline when initiating the revive, and the care package decreased the drop animation speed from 14 seconds to 8 seconds, so it's quite a lot faster to get on the ground. And they increase the deployment range of care package. You don't need to be as up close and personal when deploying it. The first split maps will be World's Edge, Stormpoint, and Broken Moon. And as we know, instead of it switching up every once a split or whatever, it actually would switch between these 3 maps as something you can play ranked on every 24 hours. So that's really cool. They're also changing up a API. But that is nothing that matters for you guys, or probably not even me. So we're just going past that. Then we got some interesting quality of life changes as well. Added map rotation previous to the game was selected in the lobby. Players can now be on any team in Gunrun. They increase the odds of becoming Team Nessie in Gunrun. Team Nessie is now viewable for all teams. This is it's a low chance thing. It's pretty cool. Consumables now show a progress bar for teammates next to the unit frame on the HUD, similar to reviving. That's actually huge. Added damage to the scoreboard in control. I actually wanted that personally. I don't know about you guys. In the comments, let me know. Also, by the way, speaking of you guys watching, if you enjoyed it so far, make sure to hit the like button, maybe follow or subscribe. Thanks to me posting these videos about the new season. We have a lot of new viewers. I just want to welcome you all to the community. I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's just continue with the video. When in firing range, players now regain full health and shields wherever you select the legend and legend. Select menu is just smaller things. It's about the quality of life, but sometimes they do miss a few things. Adding credits to items inspired and designed by creators. If you guys didn't catch this, was a huge drama about a few skins, Lulu Lovely and some Japanese guy, and I don't know the rest had like skins that they had designed, and then they just yoinked their credit, and I don't know if they're getting paid now or not, but they weren't going to get paid for them. It was a whole drama about that. And then we got some bug fixes, smaller things. These are all the there are a lot of bug fixes, but I don't think they're super relevant. They're small niche things, nothing insane. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and of course, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.